phenomenon in psychiatry known as projection. Donald Trump will soon be the textbook entry for that phenomenon. And a question that the people of America are going to have to answer is, how low will Donald go?
All right, there's Ted Cruz, ladies and gentlemen, responding to the whole Inquirer thing and blaming Donald Trump. Joining us now on the Malzberg panel, Tom Borelli. Dr. Tom Borelli, Ph.D., contributor to Conservative Review, and Jane Velez-Mitchell, founder of JaneUnchained.com and New York Times best-selling author. All right, Tom, let me start with you here. The question is whether Donald Trump planted it in the Inquirer or not, is the denial good enough? Is the response from Cruz good enough? Or should he say, I am going to sue the National Enquirer if they don't take it down in 2 days or retract it because I've never cheated on my wife? I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the overall strategy is, but what you want to do is make it a one-day story rather than a week story. And if he sues, maybe that it goes on, and that's one of the strategies. Clearly, it's to Trump's advantage to keep Cruz off message, to keep him off talking about policy issues, and I think that's got to be part of the plan, especially with crucial Wisconsin coming up. And I believe the polls are pretty tight in Wisconsin. It's
they are.
Winner take all. Yeah,
Wisconsin's a biggie. Now, Jane, I know Democrats don't care about any of this, whether they're consensual affairs, non-consensual affairs, alleged sexual assaults. I know Democrats don't care about any of it as long as you favor abortion, right?
Cohorts are dragging the GOP not only into the gutter, but beneath the gutter, into the sewer system. And now we're talking about who's copulating with rodents, which I consider an insult to rodents. This is beyond comprehension what is happening in this campaign. If you had a team of Hollywood scriptwriters coming up with this garbage, people would say, no, that could never happen. But it's happening, and it's because of Donald Trump. And I never thought I would agree with Ted Cruz, but I do agree that he's focusing on these sewer, garbage, slime issues because he doesn't have the foreign policy chops. He doesn't know the details. He didn't even know in one of the debates what a nuclear triad was.
I know, we've been through that. Every time you're on, you managed to bring that up. All right,
I think a chief executive should know.
Here's the deal. Tom, here's the deal. The American public understands. First of all, blaming Donald Trump for this story in the Inquirer, it's made up. I mean, unless Ted Cruz could prove this, I mean, he's just saying it. I mean, it's a magazine. Trump has nothing to do. I'm talking to Tom. It has nothing to do with it. There's no proof he planted it or had anything to do with it. They're just saying, oh, this is Trump doing this. So that's number one. And so, and number two, as far as, he doesn't know as much as foreign policy, he's not a politician. People understand that. His supporters understand that. He will surround himself with the best people. His supporters, Tom, don't want a politician.
Right. If Trump became president, he'd run the country like he would a business. It would be USA Inc. He'd surround himself with good, smart people, and as an executive, he'd make those good executive decisions. That's what an executive does. An executive in CEO in marketing needs finance people. They surround themselves with people, and then they get paid for making the right decisions.
Jane?
Explain all the business bankruptcies then. Is that what we want for making America great again? Can America go bankrupt just like his businesses went bankrupt?
I still think he's a billionaire, so that's pretty good success record.
Well,
any businessman tries and fails once in a while, but at the end of the day, what's the final score? And a billionaire is pretty impressive, at least to me.
All right, folks, when we come back, the panel returns, much to the chagrin of some of you out there, I know. I'll get the emails later. But the panel returns, and we got Hillary, who's going to have a little appointment with the FBI. I can't lie to the FBI because we know what's happened to others who have. And then we also have Barack Obama. Wait till you hear what he has spent 40-some-odd full days of his terms doing. You won't be surprised, but I'll tell you what it is. Don't go away.
The distinction here is more about the server issue, and that is all. going to be continued to be vetted as opposed to the email. So
well, actually, that's not the piece that the FBI is investigating. They're actually looking at the emails themselves.
Well, they're looking at the emails, but also the issue of setting up the private server and whether or not that would allow any type of corruption of classified information.
Remember that goodie from Finney? No, the FBI's not looking at that. Welcome back. Tom Borelli and Jane Velez-Mitchell still on the panel. And Tom, the FBI, according to all stories, they're taking it to the next level. They're going to interview Clinton's inner circle, and most likely, they say, Hillary herself about the emails, the server, you name it. This is a whole new level because Hillary can't say there, well, you know, if anybody could try to speak Clintonese to the FBI, it's her. But if she's caught lying to the FBI, that in and of itself would be a crime.
Yeah, most times it's the cover-up that gets the people. Yeah, look, they're working up the food chain. They don't now have the staff. They have the guy that they gave immunity to. They're working up, and then her answers, as you mentioned, Steve, have to be very tight and focused. But at the end of the day, look, the Clintons she was serving her interests, not the public interest. She put national security at risk. We know there's something like 22 emails that were deemed top secret. And these are things that are really concerning to American people, and it's affecting her in the polls.
Absolutely.
She just got whooped over the weekend by Bernie Sanders.
Whooped unbelievably. He won the caucuses with 70%, 60%. Hey, Jay, not only that, but it just was revealed last week that Hillary Clinton skipped a 2011 State Department special briefing on cybersecurity that members of her staff at the State Department organized specifically for her. She didn't even care.
Oh my gosh. Secretary of State almost half a decade, and she skipped a meeting. What are you going to go after next? Sick days? This is absurd. All these campaigns, they're trying to resuscitate Whitewater again. You go on the street and ask people what Whitewater is, they're going to think it's a ride at a water park. This is not resonating with the public because
really, Jane, then what? Jane, then why do the polls show they think she's dishonest and don't trust her? Tell me why.
60%.
Let me tell you this. She's going to become the Democratic nominee.
I didn't think you could answer it.
She's headed into New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California, where she's going to absolutely sweep. And this is all just utter nonsense.
Okay.
You know what? Had there been a national security crisis as a result of these emails, we would have known about it. There was no crisis.
Okay, all right. People have gone to jail for a lot less, and Hillary is in big trouble. All right, let's move on to Barack Obama. I know I have to laugh. He said this the other day. Let's go to 59.
We see high-profile attacks in Europe, but they're also killing Muslims throughout the Middle East. People who are innocent, people who are guilty only of worshiping Islam in a different way than this organization. They are poisoning the minds of young people everywhere, not just in Europe, but in the United States and undoubtedly in Argentina. People are looking on these websites.
All right. This disgrace, Tom, stood there the other day in Argentina and after the attacks and talked about how ISIS is killing Muslims all over the Middle East, when his own State Department just the other day declared genocide against Christians and other minorities at the hands of ISIS. Now we had the Pakistani bombing where over 60 Christians at an Easter festival was slaughtered, women and children mostly. This man, I don't believe he's detached. He knows exactly what he's doing. He couldn't care less that Christians are being slaughtered around the world. He doesn't care.
I agree. He's got a real twisted view of reality. Evidence is right there in front of him, as you mentioned, his own State Department, genocide against Christians. I think they claimed that they actually crucified a priest
yes.
on Good Friday. How horrific, how barbaric. And probably where is Obama? He's probably out there playing golf.
Well, we'll get to the playing golf. Go ahead, Jane.
I think that ISIS is a horror and needs to be stopped and needs to be wiped out. But that doesn't mean we need to condemn every one of the Muslim faith.
Nobody's saying that. You're twisting it, Jane.
He's trying to draw a distinction between law-abiding Muslims, particularly Muslim Americans, who have nothing to do with that, and these fanatical terrorists
he can't even
who
say
do
radical
need to
Islam.
be attacked and wiped out.
All right, I want to stop. Let's go to 58 real quick.
I think it is important to recognize that this is my #1 priority. I've got a lot of things on my plate, but my top priority is to defeat ISIL and to eliminate the scourge of this barbaric terrorism that's been taking place around the world.
All right, I leave you two with this. He's got a lot on his plate, but he has time for ISIL, Dash, whatever they want to call it. He has played 46 full days of golf. He just played his 281st round of golf, something George W. Bush stopped doing once we went to war. This man doesn't care. He's not detached. He purposely does it. He couldn't care less. Tom, Jane, thank you. Tom DeLay, without delay, is next, so don't go away.